Hi everyone, Bowls Australia Regional Bowls Manager Clive Adams here, and I am joined by the Bowls WA CEO and Ken Pride. How are you, Ken?
Well, thanks, Clive. Looking forward to today. A couple of important topics.
Yeah, well, certainly. So, first up, in line with the changes to the affiliation fee here in WA, we just wanted to offer some advice to clubs on getting the Bowls Link system ready to cope with that.
Yeah, obviously a new way of affiliating this coming season, and importantly, particularly those who run the Bowls Link section or the club secretary needs to be really aware of what the playing rights side of things will move towards. So, without further ado, if you're in the club, you're looking to update your Bowls Link database to make sure it's ready for the current season. Playing rights, of course, are indicated by the green dot on the database of your club, and these following members need to have that green dot next to their name. So individuals who play in carnivals, gala days, or any in fact competition outside of their home club, which of course is 99% really of those bowlers in WA. Pennants, of course, club championships, and it goes onwards upwards for Bowls WA and Country Week. So critically with the green dot, if you have a member that actually plays outside of the confines of your home club, then they must have playing rights, and of course then they'll be charged affiliation accordingly.
And what about some of the examples of some of the members that may not require the green dot?
Well, obviously the flip side. So in terms of those playing rights, of course who won't have them will be a red dot next to the name in the Bowls Link database. So they are people who are like social members who only utilise the facilities of the clubhouse, restricted bowlers who can roll up or play social events at your club only, so at the home club only, non-playing life members, which there are plenty, non-playing full members, of which there are a few, any other non-member playing type category the club may have, but also dual members, so those often who are in the country who do come down to play pennants in the metropolitan area, particularly on Thursday for the men. So those who are approved to play in a specific pennant competition for a club whose primary club is a different club. So again, those country bowlers often come down during the week to play midweek pennants. So all of those individuals, no requirement to have playing rights. They will have the red dot next to their name, and therefore they won't be charged affiliation.
All right, now people in country areas have already seen Aaron Delaporte and myself and Steve Unsworth going around doing some training, but there is still some training coming up in the metro area.
Yes, there's going to be metro training on the 17th of September, and that information is out there. So 3 sessions, in fact, here at Bowls WA on the 17th, where a lot of that information will again be discussed. But not only that, but various other topics of Bowls Link, which administrators would need to be up to speed with for the coming season, particularly with new committees and so on who may have changed their administrator at the AGM and so forth. That information will then go out to all the metropolitan clubs and country clubs again on the 18th of September, the following day. But shortly, once we've completed the video, we'll send this out as well. Now,
there's some key dates around making sure that the database is completely up to date.
Absolutely, and they're as follows. October the 1st, Bowls WA will look at each club's database around the state and will send to them the number that we have of green dots in the system. Now that will allow clubs then 2 weeks after that to bring their database up to speed and to make sure that the number that they believe they have is the same as what Bowls WA will charge them for around about the 14th of October. So 1st of October, each club will get that number. The 14th of October is the cut-off date, if you like, which we'll then begin to send out invoices to all of the clubs based on that information, and those invoices then will be due and payable by the 30th of November.
Okay, and then if somebody arrives at a club after that and a new member walks in after that?
Yeah, unlike the old capitation system, which you used to have to do a monthly rebate for, if you like, and return for new club members or transferred members, that's not going to be required. So once we get past that 14th of October and we draw a line in the sand for each of the clubs, if you happen to get a transferred member in or someone off the street, for example, who comes and joins the club after the 14th of October, there is no requirement for affiliation to be paid to Bowls WA for that person.
Okay. All right. In terms of the COVID situation, Ken, we've had a lot of queries coming in around provision of food and so forth in clubs. Bowls WA's got some advice for those clubs?
Yeah, I think it's critical still, even though we're in stage 4 of, if you like, a lockdown or the state government's position, and we're hopeful that will come open up in stage 5 towards the end of October. There's no question, as you say, a number of clubs have asked us about the provision of foods and so on between now and that opening right up. Let's work on the side of caution. Let's try and make sure that all that we do between now and that opening up of the state is in line with what we've done previously so very well. So our recommendations, which we'll send out in writing to all of the clubs very shortly, particularly for competitions, and I'll use the example of your club, Clive, the St Ives, for example, big competition, lots of people there, having lunch and so on. Our strong advice is that the salad bars and those sorts of things that are placed in the middle of the room, that they be dispensed with until such time as stage 5 is opened up, but also to provide individually served meals to the bowlers. I certainly know Mosman Park have done that previously with their triples competition, where individually served meals are brought to the table by a person who is past the COVID training course, if you like, yes. And then they're delivered directly to the individual. No salad bar in the middle, no buffet type format. So that's really important, I think, for the bigger competitions. But also then we can turn our mind to our pennant days, and we may well coincide our first pennant day in the metro area. 24th of October may well be the day that the Premier opens the state up. But if not, I think we need to also think about the post-game sandwiches or cheese and biscuits or various platters and so on that clubs will provide after the pennant game. And I think our advice, again, is not to provide those until stage 5 has certainly opened up. We get more clarity around that, but to actually look to provide either individually served cheese and biscuits, for example, to the player, or if that's too difficult, and I understand with the volunteers that may be, then to consider not to have post-game food and snacks until such time we get to stage 5. And it may well be the club will buy the opposition a drink, for example, after the game, rather than supplying any food until such time as we open up.
All right, excellent. Thanks for that, Ken, and that information will be sent out to clubs in the coming days. So, look, we remind everyone to stay safe out there. It's still challenging times, but hopefully we've got some great bowls coming up very soon. So, yeah, all the best to everyone out there. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Clive. If there are any queries, obviously, on any of that, simply call the office in terms of the bowls league and affiliation in particular. Yourself and Steve Unsworth, as the RBMs, are well versed in all of that. And obviously, as we said, think carefully about the post-game snacks and foods until such time as we open the state up.
Thanks everyone.